Right, okay, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I've got a transfer roundup. It's the last one of of the summer. It's the reaction to deadline day. We had a lot of late deals go through on deadline day. A lot happened in the end. So yeah, here is the very last reaction from transfer deadline day. So we start off then with Jadon Sancho. We have signed Jadon Sancho on a loan with an obligation to buy. I mean, it's as long as we finish 14th, it becomes an obligation. So the fee is £20 million. We have £5 million in performance-based add-on. So actually, the fee is probably a lot cheaper than what you expected. I don't know if United were just desperate to get rid of him, or if it's just because it was a last-minute thing. But it's a decent fee for the player Jadon Sancho can be. And it's actually our second bid for Jadon Sancho. Our first was a loan with an option to buy. Obviously, that got turned down, and we got this one through in the very last minutes, and it was announced yesterday. So, I mean, what is your opinion on signing Jadon Sancho? It's a very mixed one, very 50-50. I think me, personally, I think I sit a bit in the middle of this, because I think originally I was a bit against it, but it's sort of grown on me a little bit. Sancho himself talked about, the excitement of return to London, obviously, where he's sort of originally from. Chance of playing Chelsea. So he talked about talking to Maresca, and Maresca talking to him about the project as well. And he said that was something that excited him as a young player. And we've got to remember, Jadon Sancho still is a young player. He's 24 years old. There's still a lot of development in him. And so, yeah, I mean, do we really need another winger? That's one of the main things for me. I think we don't need another winger. I think if we needed another winger, I think this probably could have been a really good move. But we don't. I mean, we got 5 players who will only play on the wing, and you've got Nkunku and Palmer who probably could play. Well, they can play on the wing if you needed to. So going for another winger it is slightly weird, but at the same time, I mean, you can say that they're going to try to rotate the squad as much as possible when they are. I think their plan is to try just constantly rotate this team as much as possible, a bit like Pep does with City. So he probably is going to get game time. He'll probably play the Thursday games, won't he? And maybe come off the bench sometimes in the Prem. But there's no situation where you need 6 wingers. I guess you might not count João Felix as an out-and-out winger. So there's no situation where you need 5 out-and-out wingers, is it really? I mean, yeah, we're playing twice a week, but do we really need 5 plus 3 others who can play there? Not massively. I think Sancho as a player, I mean, I don't think we've seen the best of Sancho yet. We definitely haven't seen him regain his Dortmund form since he left there, the first time he left there. I think, look, here's the thing. We know he's spoken to Maresca, and Maresca would have told him, if you don't budge your ideas up, if you don't change your attitude, and especially if you don't change the way you train, you will not get any game time at all. So he's going to know that he can't afford to slack like he did at Man United, because he'll be in the exact same position, and they'll want him gone, and he will be gone. I mean, we've seen Abreu, he'll be put down to the development team, be training with the under-23s until they get rid of him. So he has to, he has to train to the levels Maresca wants. He has to have the right attitude. So with all that, hopefully it can be a fresh start for Sancho. It can be a fresh start. He's going to be forced to, put out, work to his very best. So we can hope that, he sort of sees as a fresh start to work his hardest. And, we could see the Sancho, what everyone thought Man United were going to get a few years ago. Now, let's not, if we get Sancho at his best, then it can be a very good signing. I think it's just a bit of a concern if we don't. But look, it's a decent fee. So I'm a bit mixed on it, because it very much depends on how he takes it. But I'm hoping that he takes it as a fresh start, and we get a decent Jadon Sancho. And if that case, then, I think we've got a really good deal on our hands, because 20 mil for what he can be is cheap, I think. But yeah, welcome Jadon Sancho to the club. It's nice to have him. Obviously, he knows quite a lot of people at the club. Joe Shields, the one who pushed this. Joe Shields scouted him and signed him for Man City. Joe Shields, he wasn't just the one who pushed this, but he was also the one who pushed for it to be a loan with an obligation to buy. So we know Joe Shields is a massive fan of Jadon Sancho. He knows what Jadon Sancho can do. Obviously, from his City days, he knows Cole Palmer, he said, who I think was a few years below him. He knows Tosin Adarabioyo. He might know Romeo Lavia as well, who's also at City, but I think maybe Lavia might have signed after he left, possibly. But yeah, he knows a few of the players. Um, Obviously, England duty as well. He'll know a few of the players. So I don't think it'll take him long to settle in. I say he's back in London. Well, I think he's going to feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more like he's at home. So yeah, welcome Jadon Sancho. Let's just hope he can set the world light. He has been given the number 19 as well, for all of you who are interested in that. Next up, Raheem Sterling. So Sterling has joined Arsenal on a loan move until the end of the season. One of the last minute moves of the window, his last grasp. He went there. According to Ben Jacobs, Sterling has taken a wage cut and the wage split would be 50-50. I mean, look, he had to go somehow, didn't they? They had to get rid of him, whether it was a loan or permanent. They had to get rid of him. Obviously, it was going to be too late to get him on to sell him on a permanent. So a loan move it was, and it is just a very simple straight loan to the end of the season. What you don't get many just straight loans anymore, do you? I mean, we're going to talk Chalobah in a second, but it's also a straight loan. But also, almost any loan these days has an option to buy, an obligation to buy. It's weird just to see a normal loan. But yeah, this is just a normal loan. And I mean, look, they couldn't afford to have him in the development squad, could they? Because they needed him to be playing to, at least try and get his value up. And hopefully they can get him gone on a permanent next summer. Look, for me, as soon as Sterling put out that statement, it was done. As soon as Sterling put out that statement, I lost all sympathy for him. And now that was it done in my eyes. And yeah, I mean, it seems pretty done now. He's gone to Arsenal. We've talked about how happy he is to be at Arsenal and all that. So maybe gone. I mean, look, it's a tricky one because we sort of need him to do at least all right to try and get a decent value for him. But at the same time, I don't want him to do all right for Arsenal. I don't. But I mean, I said this a few weeks. I think out of all the wings we've got, weirdly, Sterling, I think we can still probably get the best price for him. And I find that weird because I don't think he's been our best winger at all the last few weeks. And I think I look at our squad, I still don't think he's our best winger. As of right now, at least, I think he's probably done the most in his career out of all our wingers. But I don't think right now he's the best. But yeah, I still think we can get the best fee for him because people know what they're getting and they know Raheem Sterling's a decent player still. So yeah, we'll have to see how the season goes with Arsenal. And then next summer, I guess we'll have to have a look at, what sort of fee we're talking about to sell him on a permanent. Presuming that's still the idea next summer, what we hope it is, because we hope Maresca's still at the club, meaning that hopefully next summer Sterling still will go out the door permanently. But yeah, what's your opinion on Sterling moving to Arsenal? How do you feel? Also, we know he apparently sailed in London as well, so that was a massive key on why Arsenal and not anywhere else. Next up, Trevoh Chalobah. Chalobah has joined Crystal Palace on a loan until the end of the season. Apparently there was no other clauses, it's a straight loan, just like Raheem Sterling, and it's a 50-50 wage split. I'm just surprised about how lack of interest Trevoh Chalobah's got. I mean, I'm happy for him that he's going to be playing football this season, he's just not going to be in the development squad. It would have been so undeserved if he was just spent this whole year in the development squad. He's a great player, hopefully he can show what he can do for Crystal Palace. And, next summer, they've either got a decision to make where, we could keep him, or, I mean, I'd rather not, but he could get a permanent move away for a decent bit of money. I mean, look, I like Chalobah, he's a good player. I think he'll do well at Palace. We wish him all the best. Let's just see how he does. Obviously, Palace were interested in signing him on a permanent, but in the end, this all happened way too late for any permanent deals. Once again, it was another really late move into the window. So yeah, it had to be a loan for Trevoh Chalobah. I wondered if they had a bit more time, whether they could have made it a loan with an obligation or an option. I wonder if it's just a loan purely because of the amount of time they had left. I'm not really sure, to be honest. But yeah, it's just a straight loan move to Crystal Palace. So wish him all the best, and we'll see how he does. Next up is Amano Broa. Broa has joined Everton on a season-long loan with an option to buy. The option to buy fee is believed to be £30 million, same as the Ipswich one. Everton will start paying his wages once he recovers from his Achilles injury. There's also the Achilles injury is believed to be the reason, or one of the reasons, why the Ipswich move fell through. Because his move to Ipswich collapsed. They tried coming back in for him on deadline day, but they ended up missing out. As we know, he's gone to Everton. I wish him all the best at Everton. I've got nothing against Broa. I hope he does a good job there for them. Also, once he recovers from his Achilles injury. I mean, he's such a weird. We know he can be a really good player, but he just hasn't really shown it in the last year. And at the end of the day, I think that's probably cost him a spot in Maresca's squad because, let's say he went out on loan to Fulham, did a really good job, then, I think he could have been in Maresca's squad. Let's not forget, we were looking for a striker right up until deadline day with the Osman deal. So, yeah, I think, bro, he's a good player. We know what he can do. I mean, look we did for Southampton a few years ago. So if he can reignite that form for Everton, obviously Everton is such a weird team. They've struggled to start the season. And going forward, I mean, they've signed the other striker. I can't say his name. I'm not going to try. They've also got Calvert-Lewin, who's so inconsistent and so injury prone. So I don't think it's a bad sign for Everton. I think he definitely fit into Dyche's system. So yeah, we'll see how he does. Hopefully he does well, and hopefully at the end of the season, Everton can go in for that £30 million fee, and we would have got ourselves a decent deal. So last but not least, Victor Osman. Now this was a major transfer across the summer, but for a second summer in a row, Victor Osman, where he was expected to leave, has not gone anywhere, and he's once again still at Napoli. Obviously, he could still go to Saudi Arabia because their window closes a bit later, and that was the move that was looking more likely. The Saudi team and Napoli both agreed a deal on a fee. I think it was just mainly Wade, or Osman wasn't really willing to go there. But yeah, a deal was off between us and Napoli for him. No agreement was reached in time. I mean, I think it was, and they were trying to get a deal to the very last second, but it just never really. There was never really a major break for anything. What made us look like we were going to get a deal. Napoli have completely. Because Napoli tried getting him off to Saudi. He didn't want to go to Saudi. And now Napoli, they've taken him out of the squad. They've given his number to Lukaku. What's rough for any player? If you're having your number taken off for Lukaku, especially what you've done for that club in the last few years, that's rough. So yeah, tricky situation over there. I think Napoli are going to still try to force him off to Saudi. For however much money they get. And obviously he's going to get paid well, but is he going to want to be there? We're not sure. But one thing we know, he's not going to Chelsea. Obviously maybe in the winter, but I doubt it. This one's off. So they tried. We know their plan was to try to get a loan late on, and I don't know if that's what they tried in the end. I don't know if the Saudi club actually agreed on a fee, or if they tried to get a fee, but it was too late on. I'm not sure, to be honest. But Victor Osman, we didn't reach agreement in time, and that one's off. So we didn't get a striker we wanted. Obviously, we were looking at Tony, looking at Osman. We didn't get one in the end. So our only sign of deadline day goes down to Jadon Sancho. I say our only sign of deadline day. It's still one signing, and we still signed loads of people in the window. So it's not really an only, is it? And obviously there was large amounts focused on getting certain players out of the club, but we saw with Sterling, Chalobah, and Brower. Obviously there was talks about Dacho Fofana leaving as well, but I think those moves collapsed in the end. But yeah, that is it for today then. Thanks for watching. That was our actual deadline day. What was your opinion of deadline day for us? What was your opinion on the window as a whole for us? Are you happy with our transfer window? So a lot of moves in, a lot of players leaving as well. A very different strategy to this transfer window. We've been very aggressive in the way we're trying to sell players, and pretty aggressive still trying to sign players. So you happy with the window? You happy with how our squad looks going into this season now? Obviously, Palace at home next. Hopefully we can get a win there. Keep that momentum from that Wolves win on the weekend. But yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.